So as we know, the majority of just VCs in that whole space are dominantly white males, for example. So right off the bat, when I came to fundraising for SocialGain, for example, I knew I was a male, for example, so I had that similarity. But being somebody who was identifying as a black male, for example, I didn't have the option of hiding that, for example. So I'd always particularly hide the fact that I was a gay male, for instance, in order to kind of not have that disparity when making relationships with VCs. And I'm a psych major by trade, or by nature, and we learn in psych about the mirror effect, for example, that people, including all of us, we like to collaborate and work with people who are just similar to us in interest, the way we look, our sexuality, and things like that. So I never want to give any VC or any funder, for example, any other reason to think that I'm that much more dissimilar than them. However, it came to when I was just conversing with a lot of different individuals and VCs, for example, and building really great relationships, that since I was kind of being under the pretense that I was a straight male, for example, just there would be some type of narrative or some type of comments, for example, that wouldn't necessarily align with my values, or that would be going against like the LGBT community or communities of people that I identified with, where it kind of made me have to take a step back and realize, what do I value when it comes to these relationships with VCs? And that is much deeper than kind of just getting money for my startup, for example, but it's developing relationships with these individuals who not only see my vision, but align with who I am as an individual. And after a few of these kind of circumstances and situations kind of arose, I really kind of internally decided that I always want to kind of be authentic when I am trying to develop any sort of relationship, whether it be with VCs, in my corporate profession, personal relationships and things like that, that I kind of overstep that obstacle by kind of identifying different groups and communities of people who just identify with me on that level. Startup, for example, I'm an avid volunteer of Startup, for instance, which is a great organization that basically empowers and equips LGBT entrepreneurs with just resources and things of that nature. The Angels Network, for example, which is the angel investor syndicate in New York City, that primarily only focuses on investing in startups who have a founder or a board member that is LGBT, for example. So it's definitely almost an extra hurdle for individuals who are in marginalized communities to find those types of individuals within the VC network, just because by nature that there's a lower probability of those types of individuals being in that space. But I feel like when you do make those connections, that are that much more transformative to your overall entrepreneurial journey.